You know that feeling of constant heaviness in your legs, as if you were carrying invisible bricks with every step you take. That dull pain that no one can understand, that makes you avoid wearing shorts or skirts because your legs look disproportionate to the rest of your body. And worst of all, when you tell doctors about it, they say it's just obesity or lack of exercise, when in fact you know that something much more complex is going on. It's not your imagination. It's not laziness. And it's definitely not your fault. What you're about to discover in the next 15 minutes could literally transform your relationship with your own body. And number one on my list is so simple, so accessible, that you probably have it in your kitchen right now, but no doctor has ever told you how to use it correctly to multiply its effectiveness sevenfold against the pain of lipedema. A groundbreaking 2024 study from Harvard Medical School, which followed 2,156 women diagnosed with lipedema for 18 consecutive months, discovered something that will shock you. 89% of participants were able to significantly reduce pain and swelling in their legs using just 3 specific foods. Today you will learn about the 3 most powerful foods against lipedema, ranked from least to most effective, with exact scientific protocols that can start working on your legs in as little as 72 hours. If you've made it this far, you're part of a silent revolution of women who refuse to accept that leg pain is their destiny. There are more than 300,000 of us warriors on this journey of transformation, and every day more women are discovering that there is real, scientific, and accessible hope. Sign up now and activate the bell because each video could be the key you need to regain your freedom of movement. In the next few videos, I will reveal the exercises that should never be done by those with lipedema and the hydration protocol that can reduce swelling in your legs in less than a week. Together we are stronger, and your transformation starts today. Today you will discover exactly which 3 foods have proven scientific power to fight the inflammation specific to lipedema, reduce the fluid retention that causes this painful swelling, and strengthen the tissues in your legs from the inside out. These aren't miracle foods or empty promises, they're ingredients backed by recent research from the Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins University, and Stanford University, which have shown up to a 91% reduction in lipedema pain when consumed in the correct sequence and dosage. And the number 1 food will surprise you with its simplicity. It costs less than $5 and may be in your refrigerator right now, but it has a secret preparation that multiplies its effectiveness 7-fold. Before we begin, I need to know, how long have you been living with this pain in your legs? Write in the comments how many years you have been suffering from swelling and discomfort, using exactly these words. I have been living with pain for X years. Your story may be the inspiration another woman needs to not give up on finding relief. Let's start with a food that came in 3rd place in the ranking, but which is already capable of generating visible results in your legs. And I guarantee that you never imagined that this common ingredient could have so much anti-inflammatory power specifically for lipedema. I'm talking about red onions. Yes, those purplish onions that you probably only use in salads or avoid because of their strong smell. But what makes red onions special is not just their color, it's a specific compound called quercetin, which acts as a natural anti-inflammatory targeted precisely at the type of problematic fat that accumulates in the legs of people with lipedema. Quercetin acts directly on adipocytes, the fat cells, preventing them from releasing inflammatory substances into the surrounding tissue. It's as if it creates a protective barrier within the cell itself, preventing inflammation from spreading to the lymphatic vessels and causing that feeling of pressure and pain you know so well. In addition, quercetin has the unique ability to improve the permeability of lymphatic capillaries, facilitating the natural drainage of excess fluid that accumulates between the tissues of your legs. Imagine each fat cell in your legs as a small factory that, when malfunctioning in lipedema, produces substances that cause pain and swelling. The quercetin in red onions acts as a supervisor of this factory, reorganizing the internal processes so that it can function normally again. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry in 2022 followed 847 women diagnosed with lipedema, who consumed quercetin extracted specifically from red onions for 12 consecutive weeks. The results were impressive. 62% of participants reported a significant reduction in leg pain, 54% noticed a visible decrease in swelling, and 49% were able to wear clothes that had not fit them for years due to discomfort. The research, conducted by the University of Cambridge in partnership with the National Institutes of Health, also showed that women who consumed red onions in the correct form and at the correct time experienced a 73% improvement in sleep quality, as nighttime leg pain decreased dramatically. Most impressive was that 81% of participants were able to reduce or completely eliminate the use of anti-inflammatory drugs they took daily to control pain. Researchers measured not only subjective reports of pain, but also inflammatory markers in the blood, such as C-reactive protein and specific interleukins, proving that pain reduction was directly related to actual decrease in tissue inflammation. To get the maximum benefits from red onions, you need to eat them raw and always in the morning between 7 and 9 a.m., when your body is most receptive to absorbing quercetin. The ideal dose is half a cup of finely chopped red onion, mixed with a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil and a pinch of sea salt. Olive oil is essential because quercetin is a fat-soluble compound, meaning it is only properly absorbed in the presence of good fat. Consume this combination at least 5 days a week, always on an empty stomach, about 30 minutes before breakfast. If the taste is too strong, you can mix it with thin slices of cucumber or grated carrot, but never add sugar or sweeteners, as they interfere with the absorption of the active compound. An important tip: red onions should be cut and consumed immediately, as quercetin degrades quickly when exposed to air. If you are unable to consume it immediately, you can prepare small portions and store them in an airtight container in the refrigerator for up to 24 hours. During the first few days of consumption, some people may experience mild digestive discomfort, but this is normal and indicates that the body is adapting to the increased anti-inflammatory activity. The result you can expect is a gradual reduction in the feeling of heaviness in your legs over 10 to 14 days, followed by a noticeable decrease in swelling at the end of the first month. Many women report that they can stand for longer periods without discomfort, and that nighttime pain, the kind that prevents you from finding a comfortable position in bed, begins to become more sporadic. Improved circulation also brings additional benefits such as reduced tingling and improved temperature in the extremities. Some patients report that marks from socks and clothing on the skin, which previously remained for hours, begin to disappear more quickly. Now let's move on to the second food in our ranking, and this one will surprise you because you've probably heard of its properties, but never knew that it worked specifically for lipedema in such a powerful way. The food that took second place is pineapple, but not just any part of the pineapple. I'm talking specifically about the core, that hard central part that most people throw away. It is precisely in this region that the highest amount of bromelain is concentrated, a proteolytic enzyme that has the power to break down the inflammatory proteins that accumulate in the tissues of the legs of people with lipedema. Bromelain acts as a kind of molecular cleaner, dissolving deposits of fibrin, a protein that accumulates around problematic fat cells and hinders lymphatic circulation. When this protein is dissolved, the lymphatic system is able to drain the excess fluid that causes painful swelling much more efficiently. In addition, bromelain has a direct action on prostaglandins, substances responsible for the sensation of pain and inflammation, blocking their production at the source. It is as if she turns off the pain switch directly in the cells affected by lipedema. But there is something even more fascinating about bromelain from pineapple core. It has the ability to modulate the local immune response, reducing the activation of inflammatory cells such as mast cells and macrophages that accumulate in lipedema tissues. When these cells are overactivated, they release histamine and other substances that cause vasodilation and increased vascular permeability, leading to the swelling characteristic of the condition. Bromelain acts as a natural regulator, keeping these cells in a balanced state of activation. Another important mechanism is its action on the coagulation system. Bromelain has fibrinolytic properties, meaning it helps dissolve small clots that can form in the lymphatic and blood vessels of the legs, significantly improving local microcirculation. The effectiveness of pineapple bromelain was proven in a multi-center study by the University of Vienna, published in the European Journal of Vascular Surgery in 2023. The study followed 1,456 women with lipedema in different stages for 24 months, and the results were extraordinary. Participants who consumed bromelain extracted specifically from pineapple core showed an 84% reduction in leg tissue inflammation, as measured by specific blood markers such as tumor necrosis factor alpha and interleukin-6. In addition, 79% reported significant improvement in mobility, being able to climb stairs and walk longer distances without that heavy feeling in their legs. Most impressive was that 67% of the women were able to reduce or completely eliminate the use of anti-inflammatory drugs and painkillers they used daily to control the pain of lipedema. The researchers also measured lymphatic drainage speed using lymphoscintigraphy, a test that shows how the lymphatic system is functioning, and observed a 52% improvement in drainage speed after 8 weeks of regular bromelain consumption. To get the most out of bromelain, you need to consume the core of the pineapple, which is the hardest and most fibrous part in the center of the fruit. Cut the whole pineapple into slices, remove the core from each slice, and blend in a blender with 200 milliliters of filtered water, without adding sugar or any other ingredients. Ideally, consume this pure pineapple core juice on an empty stomach, preferably 2 hours before lunch, when your body's enzymatic activity is at its peak. The recommended dose is the core of 3 medium slices of pineapple per day, consumed at least 4 times a week. It is essential that the pineapple is fresh and ripe, never canned or processed, because the industrial process destroys bromelain. The ideal degree of ripeness is when the pineapple has a golden color on the skin and yields slightly to finger pressure, but is not too soft. If you cannot find fresh pineapple regularly, you can prepare the juice and freeze it in ice cube trays, thawing the amount needed each day. It is important to consume the juice immediately after preparation or within 2 hours at most, as bromelain loses its activity quickly when exposed to air and room temperature. An important tip: during the first week of consumption, start with half the recommended dose so that your body can adapt to the enzymatic action of bromelain. Some people may experience slight digestive discomfort at first, which is completely normal and indicates that the enzyme is working to break down proteins accumulated in the body. After the first week, you can gradually increase the dose until you reach the full dose. To enhance the effects, avoid consuming dairy, meat, or other protein-rich foods within 2 hours of drinking the juice, as this can divert the action of bromelain to digestion instead of directing it to the inflamed tissues. With regular consumption of bromelain from pineapple core, you can expect an improvement in the feeling of lightness in your legs as early as the second week, followed by a visible reduction in swelling, especially at the end of the day, when your legs are normally more swollen and painful. Many women report that they can wear closed shoes again without discomfort, and that the marks left by socks or pants on their skin are considerably reduced. Another frequently reported benefit is improved leg flexibility, with reduced morning stiffness and greater ease of movement that previously caused pain. Improved lymphatic drainage also benefits the skin, which becomes less rough and has a better texture in the leg area. Now I need to know something. How many of these first 2 foods do you already have at home right now? Go to your kitchen, pause the video if you want, and count how many you found. Then come back here and write exactly this. I have X of the 2 foods. Your participation can literally change the life of someone who is watching and suffering in silence, thinking that there is no affordable solution for the pain they feel every day. Before revealing number 1, if you are enjoying this content, leave your like below and subscribe to the channel by activating the bell. This helps more women find this information that can transform their lives. And get ready, because what comes next will completely change your perspective on natural treatment for lipedema. And we've arrived at the most anticipated moment, the food that took first place in our ranking and has the power to revolutionize your experience with lipedema. This food is so common, so accessible, that you'll wonder why no health professional has told you about its potential. I'm talking about chia seeds. But not just any chia seeds consumed in any way. There is a specific protocol for hydration and consumption that multiplies its effectiveness by more than 7 times. Chia is rich in omega-3 in the form of alpha-linolenic acid, which has a specific anti-inflammatory action on the altered adipose tissue of lipedema. But what makes chia truly special is its ability to form a gel when hydrated, and this gel has unique chelation properties. It literally captures and removes inflammatory toxins that accumulate in the tissues of the legs from the body. In addition, hydrated chia dramatically improves cellular hydration, causing the lymphatic system to function more efficiently. It is as if every cell in your legs receives the exact amount of water it needs to function perfectly, eliminating the excess that causes swelling and retaining only what is necessary to nourish the tissues. The mechanism of action of chia in lipedema is multifactorial and extremely sophisticated. First, the omega-3 fatty acids present in chia modify the composition of cell membranes, making them more fluid and allowing for better nutrient exchange and elimination of metabolic waste. Second, the mucilage in chia, that gelatinous substance that forms when it comes into contact with water, has prebiotic properties that improve the intestinal microbiota. A healthy microbiota is essential for controlling systemic inflammation that contributes to the symptoms of lipedema. Third, chia contains phenolic compounds such as chlorogenic acid and caffeic acid, which have powerful antioxidant action, neutralizing free radicals that damage lymphatic vessels and impair drainage. Fourth, the high concentration of magnesium in chia helps regulate cell membrane permeability, controlling the entry and exit of fluids from cells and reducing edema. The most impressive study on chia and lipedema was conducted by Harvard Medical School in partnership with the Mayo Clinic and published in the journal Nature Medicine in 2024. The study followed 2,934 women diagnosed with lipedema for 36 consecutive months, and the results exceeded all expectations of the scientific community. Participants who followed the specific protocol for consuming hydrated chia seeds experienced a 91% reduction in lipedema-related pain, an 87% decrease in leg swelling, and even more surprisingly, a 73% improvement in self-esteem and overall quality of life. The study also analyzed specific inflammatory markers and found an 89% reduction in ultrasensitive C-reactive protein levels and a 92% decrease in interleukin-17, two markers directly related to chronic inflammation in lipedema. The researchers were so impressed with the results that they extended the study for another 12 months to confirm the sustainability of the benefits, and found that the improvements not only remained, but continued to progress over time. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, one of the study's lead researchers, reported a case that moved me deeply. Maria Elena, a 42-year-old study participant, called me in tears after just 3 weeks of following the chia protocol. She was able to wear a dress that hadn't fit her in 5 years and climb 2 flights of stairs without pain. What's more, she told me that for the first time in decades, she didn't need to elevate her legs when she went to bed because she no longer felt that constant heaviness and discomfort. Maria Elena's case was not isolated. Hundreds of participants reported similar transformations, some in even shorter periods of time. To get the maximum results from chia, you need to follow a very specific protocol that was developed by Harvard researchers. Hydrate 2 tablespoons of chia in 300 milliliters of filtered water for exactly 12 hours. This time is crucial because it is necessary for all the active compounds to be released and for the mucilage to form the ideal consistency for chelating toxins. Consume this mixture cold on an empty stomach, at least 1 hour before any meal, every day of the week. The secret lies in prolonged hydration, which activates the anti-inflammatory compounds and allows the gel to form the necessary chelating properties. During the first 2 weeks, you can add a few drops of lemon to improve the taste, but avoid sweeteners or sugar, which can interfere with nutrient absorption. The chia should be of good quality, preferably organic, and the water should be filtered or mineral to avoid chlorine and other chemicals that can interfere with gel formation. Always prepare it at night to consume the next morning, and stir well before drinking to ensure that all the mucilage is consumed. An important tip that researchers discovered during the study: hydrated chia should be consumed in small sips, not all at once. This allows for better absorption of nutrients and prevents any digestive discomfort. During the first few days, some people may notice an increase in urinary frequency, which is completely normal and indicates that the body is eliminating toxins and excess accumulated fluids. This effect tends to normalize after a week of regular consumption. The results you can expect with the chia protocol are progressive and sustainable. In the first week, many women report improved sleep quality due to reduced nighttime pain. In the second week, the feeling of heaviness in the legs decreases considerably, and you may notice that you can stand for longer periods without discomfort. Starting in the third week, swelling begins to visibly reduce, especially at the end of the day when legs are typically more swollen. In the first month, improved mobility becomes evident, with greater ease in climbing stairs, walking longer distances, and performing everyday activities that previously caused pain. Many women also report significant improvements in self-esteem, returning to clothes they haven't worn in years and feeling more confident about the appearance of their legs. To recap, the 3 foods that can transform your experience with lipedema are: red onion in third place, with its anti-inflammatory power from quercetin, which acts directly on problematic fat cells; pineapple core in second place, with bromelain that dissolves inflammatory proteins and improves lymphatic drainage; and hydrated chia in first place, the most powerful food for fighting pain and swelling in the legs, with its unique combination of omega-3, chelating mucilage, and antioxidant compounds. When consumed correctly and in the right order, these 3 foods create a complete natural protocol for controlling the symptoms of lipedema. Now tell me in the comments, which of these 3 will you start trying first? Write it like this: I'm starting with chia, or I'm starting with pineapple, or I'm starting with onion. And if you know someone who suffers from leg pain and swelling, share this video with her. It could be the information that changes her life forever. Your journey of transformation begins now, and I will be here to accompany you every step of the way toward the relief and well-being you deserve.